And welcome back, everybody, to some more World Team League 2022. We are here with our second series of the night, PSISTORM versus Alpha X.
It's kind of getting silly now that MaxPax is still our Tannis.
What do you mean? That's who he is. What are you talking about?
True. Yes, here we have the squad for Alpha X. We've got Astrea, RagnaroK, and Zoun.
Yeah, we saw that they were barely able to overcome the Ducklings last week. It was a close series, but they were able to come out on top. And now, how will they fare against PSISTORM Gaming, a team that I feel like has leveled up in a way over time? I don't know, I feel like GuMiho is on fire right now. Like if he plays tonight, I'm curious as to what kind of ranking they give him.
Yeah, I mean, GuMiho just qualifying just recently for the Africa Champions Cup. And yeah, now we're going to see him going up against RagnaroK in that last game. That's a very exciting game. I feel like we've seen that game a couple times recently.
We have. I can't wait to sink my teeth into that TVZ. But before that happens, we are going to be getting into some foreigners here. Special Juanito, apparently a C player, is going to be repping PSISTORM. And once again, I feel like the strategy needs to be a little bit higher there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, for sure. And for Astrea as well. Astrea is a bit of a strategy god,
True.
but they are definitely respecting Astrea, giving him a 9 in macro and a 9 in defense. 2 9s there. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Oh, yeah. I have to wonder how the biases work here. But yeah, it seems like he has definitely caught the eye of the tournament's organizers here. And I mean, well deserved. Astrea has been definitely in form in the DreamHack of his own region, even going as far as to traveling to Korea and playing in GSL.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think both players actually are in Korea at the moment, so we will be having a very low latency game between them, as we are spawning straight in here, as we always do, in the top right-hand corner. For PSISTORM, it is special.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, representing Alpha X, it is Astrea.
Yeah, as we see special sending out that SCV very early, so will be a little bit of a proxy Rax coming out from him. Just the one usually is all that you're going to see in TVP.
Yeah, only the one. And shout out to Special, because clearly he is considerate of the sponsors of World Team League. You know, he doesn't cover any of the logos, and he does have them featured right next to the proxy as well. That is branding.
Yeah, giving them as much screen time as he can. But meanwhile, Astrea, he knows who he's up against. He is checking far and wide for this proxy. And I think if he does venture out this way, yeah, I think he is going to be able to find it.
Yeah, well, this is the problem when you do end up proxying next to the logos and next to the sponsors, is that usually that is something that the other player is going to want to look at. And it looks like he does go past the logos, but he doesn't go close enough.
He does see it, and this is that game that you're playing when you are going for the proxy racks. It's the kind of thing where you actually do definitely want to scout your opponent a little bit, and kind of scout yourself as well, just to see where you're usually putting it, at least in VODs. So it's something that you definitely can play off your own image as well, and it looks like Special has done his research here. Or he just got lucky.
Maybe a little bit of column A and column B. We do have the bunker being thrown down as well. Astrea does get a full scout for the main base, does recognize that there is a proxy somewhere. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to come across it. Meanwhile, both boys are being pulled, and he's trying to get a kill in this SCV, but Special was able to keep it alive.
We play the RNG game, which is one of my favorite games to play. Does not make me scream at all. As we do see this Reaper coming across, does manage to find the worker, but very sneaky from Astrea, actually hiding his probe down here, and that does mean his bunker is not going to finish. That was extremely well done. That's really cool. I've never seen someone do that before.
That's my strategy. 10 out of 10 strategy, okay? Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah, that's really sick.
That was really sick, and because that we do see the force cancel there from Special. He still has an abundance of Reapers that he's going to try and run past. He's going to try and get a kill on one of these probes. Oh no, he knocks himself back!
Yeah, accidentally knocks himself back. Second grenade is good. He's going to be knocking that Stalker back, but the second Stalker is out. So he's going to be trading a Reaper for a probe, which is not really ideal considering that it was a proxy Rax. You probably want to be getting 2 or 3 probes all up for that commitment. So not the greatest start here for Special.
Yeah, as you were kind of bringing up, thankfully it was only a single proxy rack, so it wasn't overly committed, but regardless, you do want to be finding a little bit more damage. Meanwhile, this probe is somehow slipped all the way into the main base, or just remained in the main base, was able to get a full follow-up scout as well, does confirm the 1-1-1 follow-up.
Yeah, this is a really important scout. The main thing that it saw is the add-on on the factory. Sees the tech lab, knows that there's not going to be any reactor Hellions coming his way, not going to be any mine drop either, so very valuable scout there.
Yeah, definitely. He knows what he's going to be up against. Meanwhile, he did open up with the Twilight Council. This was scouted earlier by Special. He's going to be following it up with a Robo, so nothing too crazy here other than, of course, taking note that he isn't going to be opening up with Phoenixes and is going to be relying a lot more on those Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, and we just see this one little mine being sent out to the middle of the map here that might be able to take out a Stalker, but meanwhile, we do see Special doing the things that Special does, playing a very offbeat, strange opening that is going to allow him to get the most leverage that he can out of his multitasking and micro. Special, very skilled with multitasking, does like to be very aggressive in the early game and try to create weird situations with weird groupings of units. So I think PSISTORM's a good fit for him because he's in there with GuMiho, who also loves to do the same thing.
Definitely. They're both kind of two peas from the same pod here. Meanwhile, one Stalker does go down in the middle of the map, but thankfully the Widowmine is going to be cleaned up. Likewise, Special, you're right in saying that I feel like it's the early and the mid game where he really thrives the most here, just kind of throwing his opponent off a little bit with his builds, with his openers, with his army compositions. As the game goes on longer, though, I feel like Astrea is going to get more of a better feeling of how Special is playing.
That was really sick reaction time from Astrea as well, just splitting that one Stalker away from the other two. I have to say, I've been watching a fair bit of Astrea recently, and I'm really impressed by him. He's really good. It's actually so sick.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's a reason why, even the WTL admins have taken note of it. Meanwhile, we have the blink on forward. It looks like the tank is going to be a little bit too exposed. It's going to go down immediately here. And now, Astrea, what else can he get? Can he get some of these add-ons at the same time? Banshee comes in across the map.
Great pickup micro there coming out from him. He's going to be losing a few probes here, but at the same time, almost all the units for Special going down. We're going to see a blink down to the low ground, nothing in that bunker. So a lot of these Stalkers being kept alive. Very good unit preservation coming out from Astrea here.
Yeah, exactly. He's got double blinks right now. He's got his regular blink, and he also has the War Prism micro as well. And this damage is getting out of control. Thankfully for Special, that one Banshee across the map was also able to deal some equalizing damage. 9 probes did go down as well.
Yeah, that Banshee at home definitely a saving grace. Does look like Astrea has been able to get a bit of damage on it, but it is going to be ducking back into the main here. And this is so annoying for Astrea to deal with. He finally does clean it up, but at the cost of 5 more probes.
That was a 14 kill Banshee. That was crazy. Jesus Christ, you don't see that much damage from one Banshee that often. Meanwhile, the Stalkers themselves are not done, by the way. The tank was out of position. Another add-on goes down. More boys are going down.
Yeah, we see some Zealots being warped, and this is the thing that makes things really difficult for the Special in this situation. When you are able to get so much damage on the units, take out tanks, take out Marines, things like that, it does open you up to be a bit more aggressive later on, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. And that aggression is getting a little bit out of control. Once again, the tank is looking a little bit exposed. The army's going to be rotating around. Are we going to see a blink on forward? It looks like he tries to get the Raven. The Raven barely survives.
Yeah, the tank is doing good damage, but the Stalkers are able to find themselves down here against these SCVs, and that is where they want to be. They are starting to churn up the mineral line of Special, and Special not really pulling these SCVs away just yet. He's instead going to be able to bring the defense to them, but that's 16 workers going down.
He was a little bit lax there with that defense, not really respecting that army enough, and as a result, 16 workers did end up going down. Now we do see Astrea wonderfully ahead, also has a third Nexus behind this for that triple probe production, so economically, he's looking good, and he was able to whittle away enough of Special's army where I don't really know if he has enough to really threaten a counterattack.
Yeah, Astrea has gotten himself back into this game wonderfully and finds himself with a pretty nice worker lead, and Special, with all that damage that he took to his units, it's going to be pretty hard to find a way to make a comeback here.
Yeah, it really is. He's going to have to be very particular with how he uses these units. Meanwhile, at the same time, Astrea is back once again, just chipping away at the SCVs, at the mules. The tank was nicely in position, though, so he doesn't really get too much damage. But as you were saying, because of the damage that Special's army sustained, he's just kind of stuck at home, stuck turtling, stuck trying to recoup his losses.
Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, Astrea back at home is able to get everything that he wants here. He's getting that Templar Archives up, getting up to that nice 8 gateway count, which is going to be really nice for whooping in those Zealots to help defend. And once he gets into that Zealot Archon composition, it's going to be pretty hard for Special to deal with that. So we'll be looking to get a bit of an attack going before that. But yeah, it looks like I'm not sure if the Stalker's delayed stim or if his stim was just delayed from everything that was going on already in this game, but that stim is only halfway done now.
Oh yeah, only halfway done. I have to wonder if maybe it was just delayed because of the constant harassment that was happening in the main base of Special. So because that he's still going to be stuck at home, Storm already going to be on the way. That is going to be the splash damage of choice here for Astrea. And I think he's going to be able to get there. There's a window, sure, without that splash damage, but I don't know if Special can really make use of it.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about that stim, because that stim is how you take advantage of that window. So looks like with that finishing up now, he is going to be moving across the map. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to make this work, especially with Storm on the horizon.
Yeah, exactly. We do see a pre-siege there. We do see he's trying to at least find the army, force it back, trying to establish a third base. Is going to engage with those Stalkers, but with Blink, even more of these units are going to be going down.
Yeah, GuMiho coming out from Astrea, but Special does manage to drag him into range of the double tank, so going to be losing a fair bit of health on the Stalkers there. However, Astrea is just being really suffocating with his unit too.
Yeah, and all he had to do was buy some time, and there we go. Storm is done. That window has closed, and even though Special has stim, he wasn't really able to make use of it too offensively.
Yeah, honestly, Special, all he's really been able to do is clear out this low ground, and he is going to be able to set up the space that he needs to take a third if he does want to do that. But it looks like instead he is going to be pushing across the map, and are we going to see a boy pool? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work out.
I don't know if it's going to work out, but I feel like that's the only thing to do. Meanwhile, a massive Storm on top of the Bio army. Ay.
Oh, devastating Storms going down, and we do finally see that boy pool into the Storms that have already been shown. We see 7 SCVs going down immediately, and he thinks better of it now.
You can't just take back a boy pool. The workers, they go back to mining. Meanwhile, we have Zealots in the main base of Special as well. Everything is on fire, and he's stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. He's down to 32 workers.
Yeah, we see the early game of Astrea is paying dividends now. He's able to take that and run with it, and he finds himself in a commanding position. Special going for a massive doom drop here. He does have the tank set up at the front here, so I think this is the way to go. Once he sees the army out on the map, he will go.
Yeah, exactly. He's waiting for the army to be revealed before he pulls that trigger, and here we go. Meanwhile, speaking of being revealed, the tanks are on siege. The response is late, and because of that, one tank goes down.
Yeah, a bit of a disaster, honestly. Out of position there, and Special, he calls it GG, and Astrea with a nice 1-0. Kind of staring into the camera there.
GG. Look, it's late in Korea right now, okay? He wants to go to bed more than anything.
I can understand that.
But regardless, a very solid win there from Astrea. I think we should praise Special for his counter damage, right? For that Banshee. That Banshee did more than not just keep him in the game and dealt some devastating damage, but unfortunately he had a bit of a rough start there dealing with that counter aggression from Astrea.
Yeah, things were looking good with that first exchange, but Astrea manages to dip back in, uses some really nice Stalker movement to get a lot more SCVs. Special a little bit slow to pull his SCVs away from that as well, and unfortunately because of that there was no way to get back into that game.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we even saw him attempting to pull the boys. Couldn't even pull that off either, just because of the late stim timing, because of the Storm timing from Astrea as well. We didn't even get to see that Doom Drop come to fruition just because of how the game played out. So a really rough game number one, but that was only game number one. Special, he has a wealth of experience. He's a veteran in the scene. He can shake that off and turn things around in game two.
Yeah, absolutely. And Special, he's got a wealth of nasty builds. He can take games off anyone, really. And I'm definitely intrigued to see what he'll be able to do on his own map choice.
Definitely, definitely. And this is something that this is the matchup that I feel like we used to get a lot more of back in the day, but recently I feel like we've been deprived of Special versus Astrea. You know, they happen to be in different respective DreamHack regions, you know, Special in Latin America, Astrea in North America. The lands sort of dried up during the COVID era, so they weren't able to play too often, I feel. So it's great to see them back once again, these two North American talents.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I haven't seen them play that much before, so I guess I've only come in since the time of no lands. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like Special used to be there constantly at these DreamHacks, at these IEMs. You know, technically Mexico is a part of North America as well. But alas, you know, we haven't seen them too often. And the map of choice for Astrea is going to be Stargazers.
Yeah, interesting. So we are going to be seeing Stargazers coming in. I have to wonder, does Special know the Dolan build? Does he know, Puppy?
Does he know? I feel like from what I know from Special, he's a little bit stubborn. He's more of the kind of guy who's like, yo, I do my builds, okay? What do you have there, you know? He has a lot of pride in how he plays, even if it's a little bit weird. So does he know the Dolan builds? Probably not, but he probably knows the Special build.
Yeah, I feel like whatever TY told him in those sessions that they had together, it must have been some life-changing information. As here we are, spawning in the top right-hand corner, playing for PSISTORM. It is Special.
Spawning in the top left-hand corner, representing Alpha X, the man whose life has changed. It is Astrea. Because he's in Korea. He's in Korea, papi. Oh my god!
Oh, right on top of Blizzard.
The disrespect.
I was about to blurt something out, but I'm not going to say
it. The disrespect, papi, right on top of Blizzard. But a lovely shout out to Doyu and Hojo and TGI Fridays, because they are, of course, left untouched. Once again, going for the one Rax proxy.
Yeah. We are seeing this build coming out once again. Special showing he likes TGIF. He doesn't want to cover that one up as he does go for this double gas. Is sending out the proxy in Australia. Very aware of that fact. He's going to be scouring the map.
Oh, and we saw that last time he knew exactly where the sponsor logos were before, but does he know now? That is the question. It looks like he may not, as he doesn't go that far out. He was scouting, but hasn't found the proxy.
Yeah, in Australia this time he's going to be going for a Zealot. This isn't what he did last time, but it does mean that if there's any bunker, once again, he's going to be able to get that. But we're seeing something very different here. We are seeing a factory, and it is in a rather cheeky location.
Oh my god, are we going to see the rompeculo, papi? Oh, he's going to go full white Idra. Do you think he's going to lift this up?
Yeah, I actually do. But Australia actually going to be able to... I don't know if he saw that with the Zealot. Observer, please.
Observer, please. I think the Zealot did come across it. The Zealot's going to turn around, and there we go. He has found this SCV. Is the RNG going to be good enough? Can he finish the factory in time? At the same time, we do see the Reaper dancing with the probes.
Yeah, good micro from Australia. This is something that I've noticed is really good at this, sending away the probes, but there is so much happening on the map all at once. We see 2 probes going down. We won't see a third. The shields just regenerating in time, and we have to see, does the Zealot... Yeah, the Zealot did work there. The factory has to be cancelled. We'll never get to see what it would have been.
Oh my god, the factory is cancelled. We had a pylon across the map to make sure that there was no wall. The Zealot is coming across alongside. I think the Stalker's going to be staying at home, but yeah, suddenly Special's opener just kind of fell in its face.
This is where you meant to put the pylon. I've seen so many people do this wrong. If you put it right between the depot, you can kind of build around it. But this spot that he's put it in there is just so annoying. And yeah, it looks like he's going to be able to get that kill before that Zealot can run in there. But yeah, that factory going to have to be built. Not quite back at home. He's going to be in that back base, but yeah, not going to be floating into anyone's base from there.
Smooch, baby, smooch. I would have loved to have seen him go for like, I don't know, proxy Widowmine in the main base to have them scuttle in or something. And alas, it will not be the case. Not here, not this time. Special does end up accumulating. His Reapers here is going to be going across the map to try and find some more damage. But Astrea, I love that he just went straight for a third base, recognizing that he is under no real threat right now.
Yeah, once again, talking about Astrea's skill when it comes to the strategy. He's definitely not one to shy away from taking a bit of like a eco cheese approach. If you do give him a little bit of an opening, he will take his bases extremely quickly and find his way into a game that way. And it's something scary to deal with.
Yeah, it really is. And thankfully, Special is not going to take this line down. We do have already a medevac on the way alongside those Cyclones. So he is going to be active on the map. He is going to be zooming and looking to apply some pressure. But I believe this is going to be scattered as the hallucination is going to dip on in.
Yeah, Well-Timed Hallucination is going to be found by the Cyclone, but the Cyclone not really going to prevent that scout, and seeing nothing on that starport, going to be assuming that it's some sort of aggression coming his way.
Yeah, exactly. Can piece together those buildings and that information, and he can come out recognizing that maybe a drop is going to be on the way. Just see a couple of units moving out here to actually intercept the medevac.
Yeah, nice aggression coming out from the Stalkers. He's going to be able to put a lot of damage onto those medevacs, and that is buying him a lot of time here, but those Stalkers are going to be going down.
Oh, yeah, the Stalkers do end up falling, and because of that, Cyclones are going to be making their way on over. At least Astrea is fully aware of the drop. He can prepare himself, and is actually going into a very fast Robotics Bay.
Yeah, so we did see him taking those gases pretty early, going to be getting that Robo Bay out, trying to get himself safe. We see the Twilight and Forge going down now as well, so definitely prioritizing the economy first of all, but if he's given enough time here, we'll get himself into a pretty nice spot.
Oh, yeah, he definitely can. I mean, 3 probes go down, but again, these are acceptable losses. We do see a warp in back towards the southern portion of the map. The medevac is going to go down. Decent target firing. It looks like the Cyclone is barely going to be saved.
Yeah, drops a scan there just to make sure that he gets the lock-ons. Isn't going to lose that Stalker, but this lib is very well timed here, especially with no blink for Astrea. It's going to take him a while to get anything over here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We do have another warp in back across the map. Blink still not started. We have Colossus already on the way for that frontal push, but this little bit of harassment, this Liberator and these Cyclones, they're putting in some work.
Yeah, Special doing a very good job here of abusing the fact that there is no blink. This is something that he is quite strong in. He's good at abusing when the Protoss is, missing their blink, missing their detection, anything like that. And all these Stalkers, they're going to be able to get in. Gets a lock on the high health Stalker, and looks like he's actually been able to repair up that, actually make another Cyclone. I like this.
Yeah, exactly. Another Cyclone rocks up here, like Special with a handful of units with 2 Cyclones and 1 Liberator. He is pulling Astrea apart right now, and look at that. The Stalkers are all going to go down.
Yeah, Special is so good at finding these abusive strategies, and wow, he got so much damage with those 2 Stalkers, and this Liberator's in such a horrible position. Astrea's going to have to spend so many of these Stalkers to clear it up, and yeah, does lose 1 more there. That is so much value out of that Liberator, and look at this unit's loss tab.
7 Stalkers have gone down. Finally, the Cyclones get cleaned up, but again, this was well worth it here for Special. This was necessary damage right now because of how disastrous the openers were. He needed to try to find a way to come back. He didn't deal amazing economic damage, but again, some lost mining time, trading efficiently against these Stalkers that ideally want to build up and bank up over time. So very nicely done here by Special.
Yeah, importantly for Special as well, this is something that can be very good to do when you go for these aggressive openers, as it looks like he's gone for a bit of a 3cc play as well. So because he had so much pressure across the map, he's not punished for being a little bit more greedy.
Yeah, and to be fair, you could argue that he had to be because Astrea had gone for such a fast third base. We do see immediately he goes for a 4th as well once he does clean up those Cyclones. So again, he's more than willing to try and flex that economy as much as he can. But now he is going to be able to have a decent army. This entire time, he has been popping out these Colossi. We do have, I believe, a 2nd or even 3rd Colossus on the way. Extended Thermal Lance. We have Blink as well, finally. He has been missing that for a long time. That's why he's been struggling with the early aggression, but he will finally get it.
Yeah, as well, importantly for Special, he is able to get some energy up on that Raven, and if he can get some disables going down, this ground army is going to be almost uncontested with all the Stalkers that he's killed.
I thought you were joking about the hiccups. Oh my god, as we do see a little bit of a double jump head towards the 4th base. At the same time, the main army is looking to push on forward. We have 3 Colossi ready and waiting, though, and despite the fact that we have a Raven there isn't enough for a follow-up, even if he was able to get those disables off. So thankfully, Special backs off.
Yeah, we are seeing Special going in for a little bit of a multi-prong action. He's just going to be poking at the front with the Raven and those units. Has to be very careful not to lose the Raven, but he is completely uncontested down here. Going to be taking out a lot of these probes and forcing a recall as well.
Oh, I love this. All 3 Colossi are recalled. Meanwhile, we have some reinforcements coming in to meet up with that Raven towards the north instead.
Yeah, it's a really smart scan coming out from Special as well. Just sees what was recalled and where it's heading. He is going to lose the Raven, does get the missile off. Astrea almost dodging that. That was pretty cool.
That was some sick War Prism microwave, but at the same time, we have a double jump in towards the third base. We have the main army looking to try and slip into the main base as well. Astrea, with great crisis management, hasn't lost too many workers, but maybe I'm speaking too soon because the double drop here in the main base is getting damage done.
Yeah, with that recall going down, there is a lot of potential here for Special to get some good damage. This is going to be cleaned up, but I have to assume that there's something else going on the map. There we go. These workers are starting to go down, and good pickup gets out of there.
Yeah, exactly. Even the one lone Marine there putting in a little bit more work, getting some more of those probes. In the end, 15 probes end up falling. Finally, Astrea has cleaned up all of this aggression, but at the cost of a lot of workers. Thankfully, though, he was able to at least keep his Colossus count nice and safe.
Yeah, that's right. And he does have 4 Nexus here to start chrono boosting probes out. So with the amount of stalkers, with the amount of Colossus that he has, he should be pretty safe to start sinking those chronos into probes.
Yeah, exactly. And there we go. Disruptor production has commenced. We have a second robo as well for double disruptors. Meanwhile, double droppers head towards the main base, but it is spotted by an observer in the middle of the map. So Astrea should be able to respond in kind. At the same time, has he been able to split up an army to protect that 4th base?
Yeah, Australia's army splitting has been really good so far, but Special's been relentless. He is going to be looking for this Cyber Core as well. It's going to be pretty annoying if he's able to get that, but with that blink coming in, these units are doomed.
Yeah, this drop is going to be cleaned up. At the same time, Astrea did have an army ready and waiting towards the southern portion as well. This time, he will not be losing any workers.
Yeah, great multitask coming out from Astrea. Is able to deal with both of those attacks very well there in Special. He's going to find himself on the back foot now.
Yeah, but economically, it's been great to see that all that harassment earlier did kind of come to fruition here. Special is also on 4 bases, equal to that of his opponent. His worker count's looking quite healthy as well. What about that army, though? He has been losing a lot of his Marine Marauder in these drops.
Yeah, he did bleed off quite a few units. You are definitely going to be hoping that you get a lot of eco damage when you're doing that. And the scary part here is Astrea's gotten into a lot of splash damage. He has these 3 Colossus here, and I'm not sure if there's too much of an answer here for Special. He hasn't been making too many Vikings yet.
Yeah, the Viking production has commenced. We have Ghosts on the way as well, but is it going to be enough in time? We have Disruptors being sprinkled in. That second Robo has finished up as well. So Astrea's army is still looking quite terrifying, but it looks like he's not feeling too comfortable pushing in. He actually backs off.
Yeah, Special just kind of shocking around the middle of the map here. One of the features of this map is it's very open through the center, and if he can find a good place to fight where he can set up an arc or even better a surround, that'll be really nice for him. But with all these zealots coming in, that changes the math.
It really does. Meanwhile, Astrea's even sneaking at the gold base. It looks like Special is going to come across it, so he can try and deny it. But if he does reveal his location, then Astrea's going to be looking to jump on it. At the same time, we have a War Prism into the natural base of Special.
Yeah, we are going to have the zealots warped in as that chaos is created. Astrea's going to be looking to jump on the army, but doesn't quite get the angle he's looking for.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He does miss the rotation there. He's trying to get a bit of a surround. In the end, Special was able to come back home, but at the cost of all of these workers. These zealots have still not been dealt with.
Yeah, and the War Prism is nowhere to be seen. Just kind of drops the kids off at school, says, have fun today. Don't kill too many SCVs.
Never to be seen again. As we do see the main army of Astrea pushing forward, getting a couple of these Widow Mines here. Now that Disruptor count is looking quite terrifying. He has 4 Disruptors with his main army. He has another on the way coming across the map. And that gold base wasn't denied. It's up and running.
Oh, and I love the way that he split off his units here. These Stalkers can just blink into that back base. This is one of the features of this map that I think is kind of insane. If you have the watchtower, you get vision of this high ground and you can jump into the back base. So the Stalkers are going to get right in there, and there is nothing to contest them.
Yeah, exactly. The entire mineral line is going to go down. He can commit further and going to the main base, or he can just dive back on out. Meanwhile, at the same time, we do see Special providing some counter damage, but ooh, the CC actually gets targeted.
Yeah, CC going down, and those Stalkers are out. They're out of there, and they are just going to Not quite get out of there, actually. They're going to stay in skirmish because there is a fight being set up in the middle of the map.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, both players are focused here in that main engagement. I'm a little bit worried here. We have a lot of Vikings, which is great for the Colossi, but what about those Disruptors? We do have a drop going to be going for a little bit of harassment, but we have a full surround from Astrea.
Yeah, very good job getting that counter pressure in there, but unfortunately gets himself surrounded from every angle in the center of the map there, and that's not going to be good.
That's not going to be good at all. It looks like the Vikings cleaned up the Colossi, so the Colossi are being rebuilt as we speak. But we didn't even need any of those Novas. Here we go. Finally, the Novas are going to be going off, and there's not enough fire here.
Yeah, every single Viking goes down, and there is just nothing here to contest the army of Astrea. Astrea gets the win in convincing fashion.
GG, well played. Astrea clearly ecstatic about that win. Very happy. Very nice to see. Yeah, he looked quite dominant in this series. There were a couple of moments, like credit where credit is due. Special was doing a great job earlier on in game number 2 in pulling apart his opponent and dealing some great economic damage to get himself ahead economically. But when it came to the overall army movement and army control, like that was just insane from Astrea.
Yeah, Astrea's got that. He's acclimatizing to the Korean culture. You get the win, and you just okay.
For better,
Mario dead face.
Yeah, for better or for worse, you know, he is taking on some of those Korean aspects. But you know what it does to your emotional state, it also does the same to your play, because he looked damn good. And takes that 2-0 win for his team.
Right, that's what you have to do to get good at StarCraft. You have to kill all the joy inside you.
You kill the joy, but that also means that you kill the smudge, Papi. You kill the smudge. So, you know, it's a bit of a give and take there. Give and take.
You become a robot. You become innovation.
You become innovation, Papi. And speaking of becoming innovation, we'll see if we get that here. We're going to be setting up, for PvP.
Yeah, it's not every day that you get really excited for a PvP, but this is a really cool matchup, actually.
What do you mean? What's wrong with PvPs, Papi?
I don't want to see European PvP.
Look. We're not getting any European PvP here, okay? Even MaxPax is a little bit of a different kind of beast here in the land of Europe. And I think I can get away with calling him a beast because we have never seen his true face. Could be an animal.
He might literally be a beast.
There you go.
As you're referring to, MaxPax, he's kind of got his own style, and this is why there's so much buzz about him, so much excitement, because he's a bit of a pioneer, and the main area where he's a pioneer is the PvP. He's very well renowned for kind of revolutionizing PvP by going for 1-gate expands in situations where people say you just can't do it, and he said, "Watch me."
Watch me, mate. Watch me. And watch everyone did. We can see he's got great offense, strategy, and micro. You could argue that maybe his defense should be one of his higher stats. Being able to pull off some more economic openers and hold on to them. But, yeah, I don't
know. I think we just... you know what I'm going to do?
What?
Next World Team Link cast, I'm gonna make my own hexagons. They're gonna be awful. I'm gonna do them in paint, but I'm doing it. I'm gonna make it happen.
Wait, we need our own stats. We need Smoge. We need Schween. We need.
I'm not putting Schween.
Oh my god, we need our own kind of stats to work with. But I think that'd be a lot of fun.
We need like the 200 IQ. We need the 0 IQ factor for the donkeys, for the power apes.
Well, yeah, power ape. That could be a stat.
The ape index, if you will.
Yes, exactly. The mental would be a good one. Oh my god. But speaking of, apparently neither player is too well versed in their defense, apparently. But they're both great players in their own right. I know there was a lot of buzz around Zoun for a long time as well in Korea as an up-and-comer. I do know that's kind of died down a little bit. I think Zoun did announce that he's going to be going to the military soon.
Yeah, definitely didn't quite have the year that he was looking for, especially in this past year, but still a formidable player, still someone to look out for, especially they did get alright with the micro, I think. He's got some sick micro for sure.
Oh yeah, and speaking of having sick micro in the bottom left-hand corner, representing PSISTORM Gaming, we have the man without a face, MaxPax.
And spawning up in the top right-hand corner, playing for Alpha X, it is Zoun.
I'm curious what kind of camo. There he is, Artanis himself.
Yep, as we do see, looks like we are going to be seeing that 1 gate expand coming out from both players, at least the setup for it with our low ground expansion. This is something that we have seen become the norm on ramp maps, which there are a lot of course, in this map pool, as we see the 2 probes headbutting.
Yeah, they just boop their heads in the middle of the map. They mind meld for a moment, recognize that they're both going for the same opener, and just like that, the connection is severed. Oh boy, and we'll see what we get out of these 2 players here. Because they both appear to be going for more economic openers, we cannot play our favorite game. Feels bad.
We'll be like, what comes out of the Stargate? Will it be an Oracle or a Phoenix?
Zoun able to barely get that Nexus up and running, despite the fact that MaxPax was trying his hardest to be as annoying as possible and get in the way of that building placement. Slipped up a little bit.
Yeah, just a small slip up there. We are seeing MaxPax is going to be opting to make the Zealot in this situation. I cannot pretend to know how this all works. I need to watch Goblin's video, actually. I kind of like to know how this game works. But we do see that Nexus is going to be going down a lot earlier for Zoun here.
Yeah, it is going to be coming down a lot earlier. Again, MaxPax slipped up a little bit there. Because of this, he's forced to make the Zealot. He's also forced to throw down his Stargate a little bit earlier as well. Zoun is fully aware. He's able to get the scout off of that tech structure, and he can respond in kind. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he did cancel his own Zealot as well.
Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting situation. MaxPax definitely in no rush to get his Nexus down, has had a few opportunities to do so, but is instead going to opt to get a much faster Stargate, and we haven't seen any tech go down for Zoun just yet.
Yeah, not just yet. Again, he does have all the scanning information he needs. He's fully aware that an Oracle is going to be coming his way, so he's going to have to prepare soon here. He can respond with his own Stargate, or he can prepare here with some shield batteries. He finally does clean up that scouting probe. Now we'll see what his response is going to be.
Yeah, we are going to see that probe going down. There is only 1 Stalker left here, so they're going to have to evacuate there as we see a bit of damage being put down on this pylon, and I'm not sure if he's able to save this.
Oh, exactly. It looks like that pylon may go down here with the added DPS of that Adept. It looks like he will commit to the Shade, though, so the Adept is a little bit more concerned with dealing some economic damage. The pylon goes down.
MaxPax is so big brain. He knew exactly how many shots it would take to take down that pylon. That's insane.
That's actually insane. Unfortunately, he got surrounded there. Citizens arrest by those probes. But regardless, 3 probes going down this early on is huge.
That's actually nuts. Like, he must know how many slashes it takes for a pylon to go down.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he has the biggest brain in all of Europe, period, out of all the players. And Warpgate is so delayed right now. The pylon is still on the way. There's 0 probes to kill, so MaxPax rocks up with his Oracle. Like, where are the workers, Patty? What's happening?
He just rocks up Oracle in hand, a little bit confused there. Doesn't know what to do with that one, but he's just going to be ducking out of there. Doesn't take too much hull damage either, so he's going to be able to keep that around for a little bit of extra utility.
Yeah, and here we go. The second Oracle is going to dip into the main base. We do have a shield battery here, though, so a little bit of a mistake, you could argue, using the Pulsar Beam instead of a Stasis Trap, but regardless, still gets 1 of those probes.
Yeah, gets that probe, does get a little bit of damage on another probe as well, but this one Stalker is going to be able to shoot him away, as he does duck into that natural as well, but that Stalker is going to be able to do the same, and he does have these 2 Oracles still alive, which is very important.
Yeah, they are both still alive. They can one-shot workers, so even if you have a shield battery, it will not even matter. Meanwhile, back across the map, MaxPax even going for a much faster Robo behind this, delaying his gateway explosion that's Zoun actually delaying his gateway explosion for some more of that tech.
Yeah, but at the same time, we do see a DT shrine going out from MaxPax. He's going to be able to start picking up some of those probes. Only getting 2 though before this Oracle goes down.
Yeah, well, Oracle is going to go down. Honestly, it's pretty important that Zoun is opting to go for this Robo. If he didn't, DTs would just straight up end the game. So thankfully, he's going to have some access to detection.
Yeah, at the same time, we have MaxPax's probe there, just viewing the sponsors. We have the little Karak all over that World Team League logo as well.
Yeah, let's go Hojo. As we do see a little bit of a hallucination scout coming in from Zoun, it looks like he'll be able to get into the main base. It looks like he will indeed confirm that Dark Shrine.
Yes, Oracle cornered is just going to be sitting there. Does have the opportunity to throw down a Revelation if it does choose to, but MaxPax's going to be putting on a little bit of aggression of his own.
Okay, he's going to be moving out with these Stalkers, hitting that third base. At the same time, Zoun is here to respond. He's going to be keeping his observers back at home as well because that Dark Shrine has been scouted. Likewise, MaxPax knows the Dark Shrine has been scouted, so we'll see if he commits to those DTs. Meanwhile, he is winning out this little trade.
Yeah, nice trading there. Does manage to get a nice little trade there on the Stalkers, despite the blink being finished here for Zoun. And still a few seconds off of his own blink, but more Stalkers have arrived.
Yeah, they have so much more HP here to work with. We do have one shield battery finishing up with the power of the shield battery. Zoun should have more than enough to force us back, but ooh, we'll lose a sentry.
Yeah, one of those sentries going down. MaxPax making the most out of his units, but we'll be losing just one Stalker to the blink.
Yeah, at the same time, DT is going to waddle on in, but we have detection at home. We have defenses set up. These DTs won't be dealing any damage yet, but I say yet because they will have the opportunity to dip on in later.
Yeah, MaxPax, of course, well-renowned for his cheeky DTs, especially in the PvT, but Zoun doing a good job just keeping that door shut at the natural, and he won't be taking any damage to those just yet.
Yeah, no damage just yet, as we do see both players getting their third bases up and running. Right now, because of all the early aggression, MaxPax is ahead in the workers slightly, but regardless, every little lead does accumulate over time. Meanwhile, he's also going to be working on his upgrades. They are going to be slightly delayed here as he just finishes up his Forge and he's working into his Robo. So Zoun will be a little bit ahead when it comes to those upgrades, when it comes to that tech.
Yeah, MaxPax definitely being the more aggressive of the two, but doesn't have the most obvious lead here, so to speak. He does have his Robo coming up as well, so it does have the opportunity maybe to be sending an observer across the map, start to get a little cheeky with that.
Yeah, speaking of being cheeky, I love it. You know, MaxPax, he was distracting the main army with his Stalkers. Meanwhile, he slipped on in with the DT, got 2 more probe kills. Again, it doesn't seem like the biggest of deals, but look, over time, we do see MaxPax up almost 10 probes compared to his opponent.
Yeah, MaxPax has a nice little eco lead there that will make up for the delay on his upgrades. A little bit behind on charge and the +1 there, and also not getting a Robo Bay just yet, getting a 4th base instead.
Yeah, I really like this from Zoun because he's going to be able to, again, flex his tech and get into disruptors much faster compared to his opponents, and he can make up for that deficit because he's behind economically. He will be behind also when it comes to his overall gateway count, especially with these early trades. Doesn't have the disruptors yet, though. There is a window here where MaxPax can flex his greater army, and he is going to be able to trade a little bit as he loses a Stalker.
Yeah, Zoun, a famous disruptor enjoyer in all matchups. Definitely very effective with that unit. A bit of a signature unit of his.
Oh, exactly. We also have a second Robo on the way for the double disruptor production. Meanwhile, MaxPax is getting into his own robotic spade, but again, he's going to be far behind when it comes to that overall disruptor count. Catches 3 Stalkers, though.
Yeah, great bait there with the DT. That's a pretty good trade going down there, and he's going to have a little bit of skirmish here at the 4th, but there is enough Stalkers for Zoun.
Yeah, enough Stalkers to hold on to that 4th base. Both players getting their 4th bases up and running. The first wave of disruptors coming out from Zoun. I don't believe they've been revealed yet, so I don't think MaxPax has had eyes on them and has mentally prepared for that. But he does have a Prism. Ooh, but it does get spotted.
Yeah, nice little scouting there. He's going to be able to catch that one out. But meanwhile, MaxPax, he's just been so active on the map this whole time.
Yeah, he really has been, and as a result, he's going to be able to once again catch another small portion of these Stalkers.
Yeah, and he's putting a lot of pressure here on that 4th base, but we already see a battery and a cannon going up. This DT slipping in here. This is something that MaxPax is so good at. He's just always so annoying with these single DTs and just manages to find little gaps in your armor, even though you know that they are around.
Yeah, exactly. Forces even a recall on that Observer here to deal with said DT. At the same time, Zealot Runby is being set up, but with only a handful of Zealots, they will not be enough to overwhelm that cannon. So MaxPax has been able to deflect all of that aggression. Now he can focus on his main army. He's still going to be behind when it comes to the Disruptor count, but oh, he's working on his own now.
Oh. You see those balls coming out 2 at a time. They will be spread. They won't be getting too warm. As we do see, oh, a nice connection on the Zealots there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The majority of those Zealots are going to be going down again. Zoun does have the Disruptor advantage. He has 3 at the moment. He has 1 ready to be fired upon. Meanwhile, MaxPax has to slow this down. He does have eyes on this army. He's going to try and find an opportune moment here. Maybe he can catch these Disruptors unawares.
Yeah, Zoun is looking to snowball this push out of control. These Disruptors straying a little bit far from the rest of the army, but MaxPax not quite finding the angle he needs here.
Yeah, exactly. He gets out positioned. He does find 1 Disruptor in the middle of the map, but now he's going to be forced to push up a ramp into Purification Novas.
Yeah, good little split blink there. He's going to be able to save one of those Stalkers, but at the same time, he's taking quite a lot of eco damage here, and that was his main advantage.
It really was. Meanwhile, he takes 1 Nova to the face. Meanwhile, he's got his own Disruptors to send out here, but it looks like it's not going to be enough, and Zoun is going to be able to break this fourth.
Yeah, both players just dancing back and forth with the Stalkers, with the Disruptors. This is a dangerous game to play, but Zoun, he's going to go straight on top of the Disruptors. MaxPax are doing the same as well, both trading out, but the Stalker count for Zoun just a little bit better at this point.
Yeah, the defender's advantage is a little bit too good as well. There was no Prism here. There was no gateway set up to reinforce. So Zoun, what you saw is what you got. Meanwhile, he is able to finally reinforce and send in a couple of Zealots from across the map. And now Zoun, he's looking to snowball once again.
Yeah, the Stalkers, unfortunately, not quite with the rest of the army, so we will see those Zealots going down, but we do have a reinforcing Disruptor here.
Yeah, we have a reinforcing Disruptor from both players. Both Novas go off, and they both whiff in the end. Zoun going to be rotating over towards the southern portion of the map. MaxPax does have a 4th there that he just got up and running, but can he hold on to it?
Yeah, but meanwhile, MaxPax still retaining a lot of these probes there, so pretty good hold so far. Zoun putting some damage onto the Nexus, but not really scratching the hull yet.
Exactly, the Nexus is going to be able to survive. Meanwhile, we have 1 Disruptor coming in, 2 Disruptors coming in from Zoun, and Nova's going to be going off, and it doesn't connect.
Almost catching the edge of that Disruptor there, but nice decisive blink is going to be able to start to keep on top of the Disruptor count of Zoun, and does have these defensive warp-ins as well.
Yeah, he does have the defensive warp-ins, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here as Zoun, he offensively blinks on forward. He takes out another Disruptor, and it looks like he's going to be able to take control of this area, but he loses his Disruptor.
Yeah, Nova just going off there, and we do have more Zealots here for Zoun at this point. Does have his 4th going up as well, 5th, sorry, so does have that warp-in point available to him.
Yeah, and it looks like this rally is just a little bit too much. The base has full and more Disruptors rock up as well. Zoun is relentless with his reinforcements. MaxPax will be losing his 4th again.
It's really hard to see the blue and red Zealots apart.
I mean, well, I don't know if you noticed there, but MaxPax with 2 DTs actually got a kill on the 5th base of Zoun. His advantage was that he was expanding behind this, but he wasn't able to get it up and running. So very nice counterattack there with those DTs.
Yeah, MaxPax here is so good with these DTs. I remember he had an interview with Pig after one of his tournaments once. They were talking about PvT, and Pig asked him, you know, what's your secret with the DTs? How do you always get so much damage? And he's like, just control them. 5-head.
Just control, puppy. That's all you gotta do. And MaxPax, if he can control, of course, if anyone can, it is MaxPax. Meanwhile, it looks like both armies have outpositioned each other. We're going into a pseudo base trade here, as they're both gonna be losing their 3rd bases.
Yeah, MaxPax are just skirmishing a little bit too long maybe here with the cannons. Does have the opportunity to start moving onto the other bases, but of course quite distracted by his own DT attack there. Nice blink there, good attention to detail. Zoun doing a really good job there as well, just setting up those probes on top of those cannons. Does save him a lot of trouble when it comes to those DTs, as every Disruptor is in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. We had 6 Disruptors to defend, and every single one is going to go down. The DTs are coming in as well. At the same time, Zoun is breaking into the natural base of MaxPax.
Yeah, everything happening all at once here. It does look like MaxPax doesn't have that many Disruptors of his own, but this is where these DTs can get really troublesome.
Yeah, but DT's coming in from both players. It looks like MaxPax is going to be able to deal with this. So MaxPax, does he have detection? I actually can't tell whose observer's whose.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he really has that much detection, and it looks like he will be warping back home, but is this a bit too late?
Is this a bit too late? He recalls and he loses every single unit across the map or back at home. He has a couple of DTs to defend, but I just don't think he has enough army.
Yeah, I think Zoun has just found the better end of this base trade and taking out all these pylons as well. That's going to be the end of the warp-ins for MaxPax, and MaxPax really doesn't have much army to speak of at all.
Very poetic. In the end, MaxPax, he lost to his favorite unit. The defensive DTs for Zoun were too much, and GG gets called. Zoun takes the game.
Yeah, Zoun taking a game that really did live up to the billing. That was a banger of a PvP, and we still have one more in store.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it looked like MaxPax was trading better in that base trade overall, but as we saw, he just didn't have an observer, or if he did, maybe it was sniped, maybe he lost it during the engagement, during all the chaos, and yeah, he just wasn't able to break that third base of Zoun. Meanwhile, across the map, he had detection, plenty of it.
Yeah, that's right, and that does bring AlphaX up to a 3-0 lead, so pretty rough spot here for PSISTORM. These teams, both sort of middle of the table teams, might be looking to get towards that 7th spot, get into the playoffs, and this is going to be a very vital way for them to distinguish each other.
It really is, and I feel like it is going to come down to this next game here, because MaxPax needs to win this game to give his team a chance at an ace match right now. I do think that GuMiho is going to be favored coming against RagnaroK, but even if GuMiho 2-0s, like, he still needs his teammate MaxPax here to put a point on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, a 2-0 is no guarantee against RagnaroK. We did see RagnaroK just coming up into the GSL Grand Finals. Like, that's no mean feat. So they're both strong players, and if one of them's having a good day, one of them's having a bad day, it could go either way. Meanwhile, we see MaxPax is going to be picking Waterfall. Rather interesting.
Yeah, Waterfall is going to be coming out here, a very small map in comparison to Tropical Sacrifice. I have to wonder what the plan is going to be here. Are we going to see a change of styles? Is MaxPax going to be the aggressor early on?
Yeah, I mean, we do have once again a ramp, but we are straight into it. And here is PSISTORM's MaxPax.
Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Waterfall, we have representing AlphaX, Zoun. Oh, and so far, both players going for their gate expanse.
Yeah, we are seeing, of course, on this ramp map, both players can be throwing down that gate down at the natural and heading out for a little bit of a scout as well. So it does look like we're going to be starting this out more defensively.
You know, I want to believe that MaxPax wanted to bait out Zoun. I think
he wanted
like
him.
Yeah. Like, even though of course we have the ramps for these gate expands, I want to believe that we went for Waterfall, maybe hoping that Zoun would be a little bit more aggressive, and then he's more like, you know, mate, come at me, all right? Try and stop me, Poppy. Try.
Yeah, try as he will. We are seeing that block come down at the natural once again, so hopefully not going to be letting Zoun get away with an early Nexus this time, but oh, looks like he doesn't really mind.
Yeah, so far, so good.
I was on the wrong side. My God. These Protosses.
Look, it's not your fault, because in game one, if you remember, it showed MaxPax like on top, but he was actually below. Like, they didn't have it properly set up on where they were in the map, but now they are, so they kind of reversed the roles. So it's okay.
I have to say as well, the red with this skin is like so close to blue.
It is. It's not. The red is not red. Okay. It's not red enough. But we do see that MaxPax is forced to throw down his Stargate first once again. Zoun does go for his own Nexus, but the Nexus this time was delayed a little bit more compared to the last game. So with that delay, MaxPax may be looking to deal a little bit extra damage as his tech has been scattered by that bird.
Yeah, we are seeing both of the openers are roughly equivalent here. Slightly faster Stargate, slightly faster Nexus. It just looks like Zoun once again going to be delaying that Stargate by quite a bit. So maybe just seeing a bit of the stylistic differences between the players here.
True. I mean, last game, Zoun didn't even go for a Stargate, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it could be a stylistic choice. It could just be something that he's not too fond of in the PvP matchup. we shall see as once again, just like last game, MaxPax rocks up with an Adept and a Zealot.
Yeah, I did actually forget about that from last game. And looks like this time the Zealot's going to be home, so the Zealot and the Stalker should be able to deal with these 2 units here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big difference, is that last game Zoun did send his Zealot across the map, but now he was able to learn on the fly, did keep it at home instead. Meanwhile, one Adept does sneak past the defenses here of MaxPax and forces the Pulsar Beam to be activated defensively on that Oracle.
Yeah, exactly. MaxPax having to use that energy there does reduce a bit of his potential across the map, but with that shield battery in the main, wasn't really going to be getting too much done anyway.
Oh, exactly. But now that Oracle is out of energy, it's not going to have that much kind of offensive power here. Is going to dip in, going to get a little bit of scouting information. We do have a second Oracle on the way, so MaxPax is just going to slowly bank up that energy and dip in a little bit later.
Hasn't got any juice puppy. Meanwhile, Zoun does have a probe that he's been keeping at the bottom right-hand corner side of the map for a little while now. We'll have to see if he has anything planned in store for that.
Yeah, exactly, because you know what, now the juice is here, and he's just going to unleash on the mineral line. He takes out 2 probes, he gets a sentry as well.
Oracle's shred sentries.
Oh, yeah.
As yeah, we do see that pylon going down in the top right-hand corner here, and what do you think that might be for?
Oh, it is from the side of Zoun. He does have a Twilight Council, so if you wanted to proxy a Dark Shrine, it wouldn't be a bad choice. It is a little bit late though, so maybe I'm just God, my brain.
Maybe you are just your brain.
I'm just projecting a little bit of my own fantasies.
Your fears. Yeah, but we do see I think it's just a gateway going there, so it looks like he's going to go for the reinforce point as... Okay, I've worked out how to tell the units apart. I'm just going to use the skins.
It looks like MaxPax goes for a bit of a scout. He does come across the probe, but he doesn't come across the proxy itself. So Zoun is going to have a bit of an influx here in gateway units in his production, and MaxPax is none the wiser.
Yeah, Zoun standing in that hallucination is going to get a full scout there, but it looks like MaxPax kind of umming and ahhing what he wants to do with these oracles, sending one back maybe for detection, a little unsure where the DTs are headed his way.
Yeah, exactly. He's just making sure he doesn't get caught off guard by that. Just waiting for the opportune moment. I'm sure waiting for the army to move out, and there we go. The Stalkers are moving out across the map. We have rebuilt some of those sentries, so we have that force field energy. Oh, it looks like the Oracle has come across the army, though.
Oh, the Oracle almost getting taken out there, but does manage to slam down that Revelation. Do you know what server they're on for this one?
Oh, no.
Okay, doesn't matter. As it looks like there is going to be a little bit of an attack coming in here, but MaxPax more than ready for it. And that force field's not quite placed right there.
That's an NA force field, I think. That's not, and it's not a home server advantage force field if I've ever seen one. Meanwhile, we do see an Oracle coming in. Oh, fakes out Zoun a little bit, pulling a Patty Mac. Oh my god!
You'll have to see it faking out that stasis trap by making a lot of stuff happen on the map. Does require that reaction to be quick, but yeah, MaxPax's been a little cheeky with these oracles here.
Yeah, the oracles have done a lot of inadvertent damage. At the same time, Zoun wanted to try and hit a timing there with his proxy gateway, but MaxPax was able to delay that with the fumbled force fields as well. MaxPax does end up holding on to his third base, and now he's going to be ramping things up here. We have +1 on the way. We have our own robo as well to be getting into our robotics bay, I imagine. Zoun instead goes for a gateway explosion.
Yeah, MaxPax just going to be powering his opponent's gateway with the pylon here. Says, this is my power here. But at the same time, we do see he is going into that charge, going into that +1 as well. Cutting a few corners here, but getting away with it because of the vision that the oracles have given him of his opponent.
Exactly, he's even setting up a bit of a stasis trap here so he can fall back to this and lure him into a false sense of security. We do see an overcharge being popped. With the help of this overcharge, Zoun is going to be able to deflect this army, but he's going to get baited. Nope.
Oh, very close to baiting. That was nicely done there as the Oracle once again dips in, going to be throwing down that Revelation, putting that attack alert on those Nexus as well. That's, honestly, if I could change anything in StarCraft, anything at all, I would change that.
Yeah, it can be really annoying. It can be really flustering as well, just in case. But oh my god,
Oh,
meanwhile, there we go. There is that bait, and in the end, 6 stalkers get stasis.
yeah, finally gets that bait down. Masterfully done. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. As you see, the stalkers taking a little skirmish there. I'm going to get the blink up onto the high ground to the safety of that shield battery.
Oh yeah, exactly. Just waiting for that masterful bait to end on his side of the map.
What? Be subtle, come on.
What do you mean? What do you think I'm trying to say, Asher? As you see, Twin up slipping into the natural base here of MaxPax, gonna be wreaking havoc at the same time. In comes that engagement.
Yeah, very nicely done by Zoun there. Just going to be taking out a lot of those probes while the engagement is going down. MaxPax taking not the worst trades there. Is going to be able to trade well with the Stalkers. With the Zealot, sorry, against the Stalkers. But the blink micro from Zoun, pretty good here.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And at the end of the day, MaxPax just doesn't have the numbers right now. He doesn't have a shield battery. The Archon is going to be going down. He does have the +1 advantage compared to his opponent, but there's only so much upgrades he can really do. It comes down to the numbers.
Yeah, we do see those slow Zealots of Zoun just trying to barge their way through, kind of counteracting the charge there, as well as MaxPax is going to be forced to give up this base. And once again, we see the supply plummeting.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about the gateway explosion earlier, and we should have pointed out as well that MaxPax is maybe being a little bit too greedy. He went for a 4th base. He went for just more pro production instead, and he was lacking in his army. The Immortal is going to be going down. The Zealots as well. Zoun just hammering down that Stalker key.
Yeah, very aggressive blinks coming out from Zoun, just splitting the army away from each other. Archons are not really what you need here against those Stalkers. They will be going down as well, and MaxPax is in a world of trouble here.
Yeah, right now he's trying to buy some time, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and Zoun takes the series 2-0. And mate, he couldn't be happier.
Yeah. Do you think we should tell him?
Dirty one. Does he know?
It's like, mate, the game's over. You can go home now.
It's the best
You're
of 5,
free.
Right? GG, well played. Zoun with arguably an upset. I believe even the WTL admin team had Zoun a class below MaxPax, so a 2-0 is insanely impressive.
Yeah, I would think that getting a 2-0 there, a little bit unexpected. Wouldn't have been too surprised to see Zoun take a map there, but that second game looked very convincing in his favor.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe MaxPax feeling a little bit too overconfident, especially when it came to his harassment. Now he was able to get eyes on the entire map as well, and as he was dancing between the bases, like, it was all very fancy, don't get me wrong, but Zoun just went for a brute force attack. He just aped it up. He just he didn't care that you were doing all these fancy flips. Nah, mate, just make the Stalkers, just push out across the map. Who cares about forges? Who cares about upgrades? It's all about that Stalker count, and yeah, MaxPax just thinking a little bit too far ahead there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. MaxPax both games going into a very high probe count, looking to win a war of attrition, but Zoun kind of just stopping at that 60 to 70 probe mark and just hammering home, and he's going to be able to secure the win for Alpha X here, but we still have a banger of a match coming up between GuMiho and RagnaroK.
Yeah, PSISTORM Gaming can still get some points on the board. They can still vie for that map score here. Of course, they cannot win the series, but they can still fight for that pride. GuMiho versus RagnaroK. That's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, always a pleasure to see the GuMiho games going down. He's got his own crazy style, but RagnaroK, he does as well. He's been a very aggressive player, and I think with GSL behind him, he's gonna want to kind of spread his wings a little bit when it comes to getting to do what he wants to do.
Hey, I didn't know if you were gonna say wings, mate. You've been you've been a little bit rowdy today. You've been spreading a lot.
What could I don't follow that. Let's not.
That's fine. That's fine. So we're getting ready for that ZVT. Also, I gotta catch up a little bit here in the chat. Who is Dr. Livesy? Do you know who that is? I don't know who that is.
No. I have no clue.
Okay. Hi.
I can't help you there.
Apparently, he is the fictional character in Treasure Island.
Hang on.
Have you watched Treasure Island?
Yeah, I love Treasure Island.
Yeah. It's got Nicolas Cage, right?
No. Why do you have to hurt me? Oh, what is this?
Wait, what am I thinking of?
Oh, it's the old Treasure Island.
Hold on.
Oh, you're thinking of Oh no, I'm not thinking of Treasure Island. You're thinking of.
Okay.
You're thinking. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of the one where it's like we have to steal the Declaration of Independence.
It's hidden in the vaults.
National Treasure.
Monte Cristo.
You're thinking of National Treasure. Yeah?
I'm thinking of National Treasure. What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet. Yes. That's the animated movie, right? Like Pixar or something.
Yeah. With the Goo Goo Dolls song in it.
With the flying ship.
Yeah, with the flying ship. That's actually such a good movie. I love it.
Oh my god.
Criminally underrated. Okay, I have to listen to Dr. Lively. Give me a minute.
I like how we're both like, yeah. But neither of us have watched Treasure Island. Oh my god. But as Asher listens to Dr. Lively, we are going to be getting into some player profiles here. RagnaroK, very well-rounded with his hexagon. Surprisingly well-rounded. Again, I think he's a little bit misrepresented when it comes to his strategy and when it comes to his mindset. Apparently, that is where GuMiho excels, which is probably accurate. You okay?
You don't sound like Dr. Lively. I don't get it at all. Fresh meme with him on YouTube. Okay, it's a meme.
Okay,
I'll take your word for it.
I don't know, Puffy. I don't know.
Russian Treasure Island. Yeah. This is all going over my head. I thought I was a denizen of the internet, but
it's okay, mate. Just spread your wings and fly away.
All right. See you later. I'm out of here.
Just take off, puppy. To the moon, as we are going to be taking place here with our TVZ on Stargazers.
Oh. I kind of see what you did there.
Yeah, it would have worked better if we were dancing in the moonlight.
If we were on the moon.
If we were on the moon, it would have been better. But
yes,
you know what they say: shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you gaze at the stars.
Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you can always fake it with Hollywood cameras.
Well, just like Nicolas Cage. As we are going to be getting ready for our final matchup here of the night. Someone was mentioning it. It is going to be a GSL rematch. And spawning in the top left, representing PSISTORM Gaming, we have GuMiho.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is the Alpha X Zerg RagnaroK.
RagnaroK, of course, coming off his hot second place GSL placing there. I believe it was just over a week ago. And sure, he may not have become our GSL champion. Sure, he couldn't do what was necessary and deny the G5L of Maru, Smooch. He is still a terrifying opponent, but oh my god, he's being clowned on right now.
That's right, RagnaroK so hot right now. But it does look like GuMiho is going to be going for a proxy 3-Rax. This is my go-to proxy build. And I like what he's doing here as well. He's going to be hiding that 3rd Rax as a very important element of this build. You kind of want this 2-Rax to be scouted, but only the 2-Rax. And that way they're going to be pulling drones towards you. As it looks like RagnaroK having a chuckle, mate.
He's having a bit of a gander, having a bit of a chuckle. Oh, the Overlord does not scout the proxy. Ay. So RagnaroK gonna be a little bit in the dark here, which is there are pros and cons, right? So he won't be responding to that 2-Rax, but he also won't be responding to any Raxes. He finally just get eyes on that SCV.
Yeah, that SCV running under that Overlord there, and it does look like he's only going to show the first 2 SCVs. So yeah, going to be at least trying to fake out that this is a 2-Rax, but looks like RagnaroK already setting up to take the back base instead.
Oh, exactly. The back base is looking to be taken here. We have a spine on the high ground as well. So he's in a way preparing to lose this hatchery. Oh boy. And so does seem as if he has recognized it. Yes, he did see all 3 SCVs, that this is a 3 racks.
Yeah, he actually seemed to realize really quick that it was a 3 racks. I'm not really sure how he was so able to work it out so quickly, but yeah, it's going to be giving up this hatch, which is definitely the move to go for here, and going to be defending his high ground with the spine crawler.
Yeah, exactly. Just going to give up on the natural, defend with that spine, with the queen just popped out as well, and we're going to be seeing Lings behind this. Ooh, actually bringing the spine to the low ground?
Interesting. GuMiho not actually going to be taking out the hatch just yet, kind of baiting a bit of a response, and wow, it has been a very effective bait.
Yeah, the bait is real. The queen does manage to survive, but the boys are being pulled, and whatever economic damage he can get done here is going to be a bonus. He should still be able to snipe that hatchery, by the way.
Yeah, he'll be able to just rally a marine into that bunker there, and he'll be just totally fine there. So a lot of damage that he didn't really need to get there.
Yeah, we were talking about how RagnaroK gets crazy. He knows it's a 3 racks. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was a little bit unaware, is because he just lost so many workers. He's down to 10 drones.
Yeah, maybe getting a little greedy there. Thought that he had the opportunity there to get the kill, and one of those queens going to be going down as well. So, this has been a disastrous hold for RagnaroK.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to send his Lings across the map to deal some damage. I mean, he may find some because GuMiho is being a little bit greedy, taking his base on location, but the Lings instead try to catch the reinforcements. Nice micromanagement there from GuMiho, just trying to reduce as much surface area as possible.
Yeah, there's only 3 Lings left, so this greed is going to pay off here.
Oh god, it really will. I mean, the Lings are wasting their time here, so GuMiho is getting that base up and running.
Yeah, I love this from GuMiho as well. He's just going to keep making Marines. He's like, if you're going to commit to killing all of these Marines, I'm happy to spend Marines to buy time. And this base, it does look like it's going to finish.
Yeah, the base is going to finish. The Raxes are lifted and they're going across the map. Meanwhile, GuMiho has a little bit of an outpost set up here with that bunker. It is fully operational. And RagnaroK, where do we go from here? Like, droning up isn't really an option. I feel like he's going to have to try and transition into some kind of 2-base all-in.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see 2 more racks being thrown down for GuMiho. So it looks like he's going to be fleeting one of those racks in towards RagnaroK. Meanwhile, we're seeing those repairs going down. SCVs on auto repair there are going to kind of flip out there.
Yeah, yeah, we do see them derping out a little bit, but they are keeping the wall up and running. It's going to be a while before any units come out, so this is some damage being dealt. Oh
look at the SCV party. Look at the lights on the SCV as well.
Jesus. Paddy Mac may not be in the game, but he's here in spirit there.
We set up the club just to make him feel at home.
Exactly. They just be raving it out here. Meanwhile, the wall is fully a wall. We do see another starport being set up for, I imagine, medevacs in the drop. RagnaroK has done a decent job at droning, don't get us wrong, but even here, even taking the 3rd base is going to be a bit of a chore.
Yeah, it does look like GuMiho as well has evacuated that natural base after getting it on location rather curiously. We'll be taking his back base instead.
Yeah. Like, he's not that crazy, okay? I know he's got a bit of a reputation, but, you know, he's going to be respecting his opponent. He's going to be sensible here. Meanwhile, we see a full surround from these Lings, but it looks like these Lings, yeah, they're all going to get taken down.
Yeah, really nice micro from GuMiho as well, just kind of popping in and out in between the spine shots. This is really cool, actually. I asked, when Gabe was streaming, he was doing this, and I asked how to do it, and he explained how to do it. So I kind of actually know how to do that now. It's pretty cool. You can just set up the rally on the bunker to the spine, and I'll shoot it when it comes out. Anyway.
Wow. There you go. Just rally, just pull in, pull out.
You just do anything.
Just do anything, Papi, and it's all just going to kill the Zerg as the spine does end up falling. We do see a bit of a Link swell coming across the map. He's going to be able to catch all of these Marines. He's going to be able to gain that map control, but as you were pointing out, at least GuMiho did give up on trying to expand and take his regular natural.
Yeah, GuMiho's got this up and mining. Meanwhile, back at home, he's got 5 racks. Yeah, 5 racks going. So it looks like more of a 2-base all-in setup, actually, that he's got going here.
Yeah, this is gonna hit like a truck. RagnaroK does have a Roach Warren on the way, so he will have access to at least some additional units here to defend. He has been attempting to drone up as best he can. He still has a couple more drones on the way. Unfortunately, a little bit of supply block there. Does have, oh my god, some Laser Lord's gonna be coming out here.
Oh. Yeah, actually, this is an interesting situation. The Roaches, if you can get them out, that's going to be really good for defending a 2-base all-in. So GuMiho's going to have to hit soon.
He really will. I mean, Stim is still on the horizon. Combat Shields just now finishing up. RagnaroK is droning. Hopefully, okay, there we go. I was like, is he gonna just make another wave of drones? Thankfully, we have a mixture of the two, Roaches and drones on the way.
Yeah, we see him going out to that lair as well as the Roach, so we'll give him access to the Roach speed if he does want to fully commit to this Roach play. Haven't seen any Evos go down just yet, so if GuMi does catch on to this, he does have the potential to start transitioning into a 3rd base.
Yeah, but we'll see if he even needs it, because here we go, the push is coming out across the map. The Lings are going to be wreaking a little bit of havoc, being a little bit of a nuisance here, forcing the reinforcements to reveal their hand, but in comes that push.
Love how we've got the Terran bias and the Zerg bias going here. You're like, oh, is he going to be able to hold these Marines? And I'm like, oh, is GuMiho going to be able to transition out?
No, mate, there's no transition required. The Marines stim on forward here. We need more Lings. Unfortunately, RagnaroK did make a wave of drones before this army rocked up. The Lings all go down. And Queens are good, but are they that good, Asher?
Yeah, a little bit unfortunately didn't manage to catch on to the fact that he was being all in here. And he's going to call GG. GuMiho getting one on the board for PSISTORM.
Oh, the stoic pose there of GuMiho, just taking that win on the chest. And yeah, RagnaroK, he didn't quite recognize, or he didn't go for a full-up scout to go into the main base to see all that production on the way. Because of that, he was in the midst of droning. He was making a handful of Roaches, but as we saw, nowhere near enough to defend against that push.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice follow-up from GuMiho as well, considering all the damage that he got. Pretty safe bet the 2-base all-in is going to be effective, and it gets his team on the board.
That he does. And now we're going to be getting into our second game here. GuMiho, we were talking about the potential for a 2-0. Can he pull it off? Can he do it for his team? Obviously, PSISTORM Gaming cannot win this series, but for the pride, for the points, can GuMiho do it? For Terran.
Terran Poppy.
Terran Poppy. Ah.
Hey, he heard the light was watching this stream, and he's like, we are not going to be having any of those Zerg wins. None of that.
Again, to be fair, like, it was just a really interesting response from RagnaroK, right? Where initially things were looking good, right? He was looking to give up his natural base. He had a spine on the high ground. He was looking to expand and take his pocket base as a response to the proxy 3 racks. And then he pulled the boys, and things just suddenly went from bad to worse.
Yeah, RagnaroK just getting a little bit greedy when it came to the defense there. Maybe saw an opening, thought that he could get away with not losing that hatch, or at least with cleaning it up with the hatch going down. But props to GuMiho as well. Really intelligent to not finish that hatch off, to just leave it on that small amount of health. And something where I think I can actually remember a game where the Zerg finished off their own hatch.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching that as well. As in the top left-hand corner, we have representing PSISTORM GuMiho.
And in the bottom right-hand corner for Alpha X, this is RagnaroK.
Oh, I want to say that happened. Did it happen in GSL? Maybe we were watching at the same time. I don't know, but
yeah, might have been GSL. It wasn't like super recent as that Deepa is misplaced. I'm pretty sure.
No, the Terra doesn't need it placed. It's fine. I think it is slightly to the right, unfortunately. But you know what? It's not like Ling's gonna rock up anyway. Like we Terran don't need walls. It's fine.
RagnaroK just goes for a 12 pool.
Oh my god! What is happening here? What is happening?
I've got a bit of modern art going on.
I mean. I was gonna try and say that, you know, maybe GuMiho plans to like make the racks and then float it over and then just do like a depot wall or something, but
that's you're gonna need a lot of buildings to wall that off.
Yeah. There's like 3 holes in that wall.
It's just one of those things where, like, I've never really thought about it till now, but if you're a new player coming to StarCraft, that would be one of the most difficult things to learn about is like how the hexes work, like how because they are like pretty big blocks, but they only wall off in like particular ways.
Yeah, it isn't as bad as Brood War, but like there are times where sometimes you can put a wall together and it looks like a wall, but it isn't. Or sometimes something doesn't look like a wall, but it is. like visually, it looks like maybe there's a gap there, but you can move some workers through.
Yeah. Okay, he's got it.
Yeah, look at look, it's beautiful.
It's hideous. Don't show it again, Observer. I can't bear to look at it.
Clearly, Asher, you have no appreciation for modern art, okay? Nah. And GuMiho, he's just a little bit more high class, right?
It's Picasso, baby.
he's the modern. He's Jackson Pollock, puppy. He's ready to throw paint at the wall.
Wow. Deep cut. As we do see this scouting Ling going to be popping up. He's going to see. Don't let him see the wall. Hide your shame.
No, let us. Oh, he doesn't. He turns around. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know, puppy.
Do you think if he ever dips in, he's going to put a question mark in the chat?
He's going to Bane bust him. It's going to be like, it looks like a pylon. Get him.
My god. Speaking of looking like a pylon, and speaking of getting your eyes on things, RagnaroK is actually going for pneumatized carapace.
I'm going to make you explain that one. How is that like a pylon?
The madman is going for Overlord speed. Illegal, Poppy, illegal, which is something you don't do quite often here. I guess he wants to go for a scout. Maybe he wants to go for a follow-up Overlord drop later on. It can kind of all come into play there. But as all this is happening, GuMiho is going to test the waters here with his Hellions, and he's actually going for a Raven follow-up.
Yeah, on this map in particular, oh, nice job. Gets the lineup on the tumor there. Does kill that active tumor. But I was going to say on this map in particular, as we see that fusion core down, this is a good map for cheeky BCs. That's what I was going to say. And the Overlord speed is perfect if you think your opponent's going to be going BC.
True. Here we go. The Overlord is going to dive on in. He does scout the 1-1-1 opener, but the Raven is later going to be revealed. And I don't believe the Overlord has actually seen the fusion core.
Yeah, I think he actually missed the fusion core there. And this Raven's really going to throw him off the scent because usually with an opening like that, you might sneak out a Viking to deny a bit of scouting. You might even sneak out a Banshee, but this Raven usually points towards more of a macro-orientated game.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, oh my god, 7 Overlords were just made at once. Their RagnaroK heavily supply blocked. The Hellions going to be dancing between the bases. Thankfully, at least RagnaroK is making nothing but queens right now. He has 3 queens in production, so even if he isn't fully aware of the BCs, seeing all these Hellions and Ravens are forcing queens out anyway.
Oh, I've just worked out how this works. This is genius. So he's denying all these tumors. The queens put back the tumors, and they don't have energy for transfusers.
Oh my god. But at the same time, Overlord speed kicks in once again, and he gets a full scout off. This time, the fusion core has been spotted, and spores are on the way.
Yeah, we do see the spores going down. We see a Bane Nest going down as well. So it looks like going to be looking for a bit more of a Ling Bane counter-attack style to play against this. As we see the Lair being fired up as well. It's going to be a little while before he has access to Corruptors.
Yeah, he has to rely on spores and queens to defend against the first BC. Meanwhile, 2 more factories are thrown down. Of course they are. GuMiho is going to be whipping out the mech here in game number 2. Cosmic Sapphire, not a bad map for it. You know, they're all Terran maps. You know, yada, yada.
Yeah, the mech god himself going to be breaking out the mech once again. And on a bigger map as well, yeah, I don't mind this at all. Is going to be pretty nice, especially if he gets a good lead with these BCs, as he's going to dive the Hellions in.
Yeah, the Hellions going to be diving in just to clear up as much creep as possible. A couple of water tarts being thrown down as well to just secure this position. The boys are being pulled. Question mark?
Yeah, we're going to get that reciprocity on these drones. Oh, and they line up 20 drones going down.
21 drones in total. And the Hellions, they're not done. They dip in ever further. Looks like there are going to be enough queens to stop them, though, but they just find more damage here at the third.
Yeah, the Hellions recognizing there are not really any Lings to defend them, getting a little bit frisky in the natural there, but looks like this BC are going to be popping in once again. Very cheeky. Nice focus fire,
Oh.
getting all those weakened drones.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was being too frisky, but nah, mate, he's tearing Papi. As we do have the armories
Oh
finishing
my
up. We
god,
have a
those
pseudo,
Hellbats.
a Hellbat push coming in towards the base. Raven coming into support, but ooh, it is going to be going down here. The Hellbat push may be a little bit ambitious, as RagnaroK is going to be able to force this back.
Yeah, maybe getting a little bit too fancy there, as we do see GuMiho hasn't really been mass producing these BCs. That's a pretty hefty delay on that second BC, as we see the Yamada going up, we see the upgrades going down, but very good trades, as the observer is pointing out there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Very good trades indeed. Losing the bare minimum GuMiho has. He still has that BC in between the bases. Spire is on the way, but it's still halfway done, and the Hellions haven't finished, by the way. They're going to be able to get into another mineral line.
Yeah, going to be morphing into those Hellbats once again. That is a signal for the Lings to get out of there. We do have, of course, a force base here for RagnaroK, so that is going to help him with the lava production, but these Hellions are relentless.
They just will not stop the Ling Bane. There's just not enough here to defend. There's not enough to keep up with the constant harassment here. A couple more Lings are rolling on in, but the drones are lined up.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing a lot more drones going down. That is 17 more drones being killed. GuMiho finding himself with a very nice lead, and Mech is not a composition you want to face from behind.
Oh, God, it really isn't. But that's what he's going to have to do here. He's going to try and go for a bit of a Ling run by, but the BC is here to defend. The Lings are deflected. Mutas are going to be on the way, not Corruptors.
Yeah, pretty interesting there. Maybe just noticing that GuMiho hasn't been making that many BCs, possibly even assuming that he's only going to make one.
Yeah, I mean, mutas can deal with a low amount of BCs, don't get us wrong, and mutas are also multi-purpose. They can do some harassing damage instead, and I do think that's probably what's really pushing RagnaroK in this direction. I think he just feels like so much pressure to somehow hinder the economy of GuMiho.
Yeah, we just see GuMiho, despite all this damage, he is playing Mech, so the game's starting to look even once again. As we just see his BCs dipping in there, going to be skirmishing with these low energy queens, and going to get those Yamadas off on the high energy ones as well, so pretty good damage there.
Not bad. At the same time, mutas, they do get across the map. Ooh, a couple of mutas are going to go down to these Cyclones. They actually don't get that many workers. They will get one SCV for their troubles. Do get an eye on the fourth base, but they won't be able to slow it down.
Yeah, we have an infestation pit going down as well. One thing to note for RagnaroK, his creep spread has been very stifled by the opening of GuMiho.
Yeah, it really has been, just because of the constant Raven and Hellion harassment. We'll see if he can turn the tables with these mutas, but oh my god, the positioning here from GuMiho is able to just cut them off.
That's so sick. Chasing down the flock of mutas way out from his bases with those Cyclones. And this is something we see bio players doing a lot, trying to intercept these mutas way away from the bases, shoot them away before they can start getting any damage on any exposed depots or anything like that. But yeah, we do see GuMiho starting to go into some Thors now.
Yeah, we have Thors on the way. We have a couple of towers that are going to be intercepted, so at least some damage is being done here in the main base. We do see the tech labs being progressed down as well, just before the Thors pop out. So RagnaroK is getting some value with these mutas, just not the economic value that I'm sure he would have wanted.
Yeah, these mutas, they are the sort of thing where you can just kind of shuck around, take any value as it is presented to you, but we are seeing some Corruptors being built just to deal with these BCs. Gonna have the Yamato tax being taken out on those, and the TP away.
Oh, we even have a third Yamato there towards the end as well. So great trades from GuMiho. The Mutaflock is still alive, but this time the Thors have finally rocked out. Oh, a couple more mutas do get shaved off, but it's okay because RagnaroK is transitioning into a more Roach Lingbane Corruptor-based army. Still working on it though, as he has maxed out. Does he have the most ideal army though?
Yeah, GuMiho being very cheeky with these units. This is something that we see very experienced and high-level mech players. They do get a lot of value out of their units. They do have the possibility to go for some of these cool tactics.
Oh god, yeah, the tactics are going to be quite cheeky here from him, as he is going to be working on backfield accelerators. We see more tank production on the way. Mutas are still trying to find whatever they can, and it looks like at this point RagnaroK has recognized that their usefulness has kind of run out, so he's just kind of being a little bit more adventurous with them as they pick up a couple more SCVs.
Yeah, but this army for GuMiho is starting to look rather formidable. And what does RagnaroK have on the ground to deal with this?
Observer, show us. I really want to see what the army composition is looking like for RagnaroK. I know he has a lot of roaches. I don't think he's been morphing in Ravagers, though. I don't know what the Baneling count is looking like either. There we go. 16 Banelings are now on the way. He has recognized that GuMiho is ready to push.
Yeah, down go the mutas, and honestly, he really does need these supplies. Looks like we do have a Ravager Bane composition, pretty standard going up against the mech here. We also see that he's getting his Great Aspire, so he does have a good potential down the line to find himself with a winning composition. Viper's on the way as well.
Oh yeah, Vipers are on the way. Bailey's do find some decent connections there. The Hellbats were bunched up.
Enormous connections with the Banelings, and that's a lot of the supply of GuMiho, but honestly, I don't know if he wanted that many Hellbats. We see him replacing with quite a lot of Cyclones here.
Yeah, Cyclone's going to be on the way instead. Meanwhile, the tanks are a little bit unsieged. Some of them are going to be falling. Ravager shots aren't too bad either. Picking off another one of these tanks, slowing down this army.
Yeah, these have been rather careless trades coming out from GuMiho, and pretty nice value for RagnaroK, who's able to easily remax on roaches.
Oh, exactly. We go. More roaches are going to be on the way. If GuMiho sticks around a little bit too long, then RagnaroK is going to pounce on that army. And just as we say it, there we go. He dives on top of it.
Yeah, Great Blinding Cloud's going down, disabling all of those tanks, and we just see a lot of those units going down, but doesn't quite get the clean up, and they think these tanks might be able to finish off the Ravagers. The Biles are good, though.
The Biles are good. The tanks all go down. We have a couple of reinforcing BCs coming in as well as those Cyclones. It looks like GuMiho is going to have enough to push this back. But again, you were talking about it earlier. He's just lost so much in these past couple of fights. GuMiho plummeting in that supply.
Yeah, and GuMiho starting to get a little bit adventurous with these BCs. They don't have teleport still on cooldown at the moment, but there are some Cyclones and Thors here to protect them. Just has to be careful that he doesn't lose those to the ground forces because the BCs will follow.
Oh god, that they will. Meanwhile, RagnaroK has remaxed once again. He's going to be looking to dive on top of this army. Once again, the tank count is going to be reset. There's just so many Corruptors in the air as well, and after this fight, he can transition into Broodlords.
Yeah, and as I was saying, there go the BCs. They were very far out considering they didn't have the TPs, and with the ground forces shoving away at those Cyclones, looks like almost every single BC is going to be going down.
Yeah, exactly. Every BC is going to fall. Looks like the third base has been broken. Banelings are going to be rolling in towards the main base as well. The wall is not a wall because of the weird city that we had earlier as well. And it looks like GuMiho has been broken.
Wow. GuMiho going down despite all of those drone kills.
What are you trying to say, Asher?
And mech's so scary. What can Zerg do?
What can they do, Bobby? What can they do?
Just be RagnaroK.
Just be RagnaroK. I do think that, again, GuMiho did max out with a 200 supply mech army, but he was being maybe a little bit careless, maybe a little bit just overextending there on creep and losing a little bit too much too quickly, and then things very swiftly snowballed in favor of RagnaroK. And with that, Alpha X, they kind of secure their spot here. RagnaroK denies the tour.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit cavalier there with his units. Probably thought there was a bit more ahead than he was in the end. But that's going to secure the 5-1 victory for Alpha X. And I have to say, at least for my thinking, that's a little bit of an upset.
I agree. Coming into this, I think we both expected a little bit more from MaxPax and from GuMiho specifically. Of course, GuMiho was able to take games for his team, but MaxPax versus Zoun definitely went in a direction that we weren't anticipating. So, yeah, very strong showing from Alpha X.
Yeah, I had anticipated this being a lot closer, to be honest. I thought there'd be 1-1s across the board, but great performances coming out of the players from Alpha X.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and with that, that is going to be the conclusion of our broadcast for the day. Both SSLT and Alpha X coming out on top over their opponents. A bit of a rough time for the CranKy Ducklings here today, but at the same time, the Ducklings, we do not rest. Currently, I believe we are competing in Cheeseadelphia, Dolan, Patty Mac, and Vindicta. And I think they may even be on stream as we speak.
Yeah, I believe Dolan just finished up his game earlier, and we will have Vindicta vs. Future coming up on stream as the next game.
Ooh, oh my. Yes. Oh my God. We see the jerseys. We see the player cams as well. So stick around. We are going to be giving them a little bit of a raid. Shout out to PSISTORM as well as Cheeseadelphia for working together for bringing us another LAN. And yeah, another great day of World Team League matches.
Yeah, really fun day of games for sure.
Oh, definitely. Could have been better.
Could have won.
Could have won. But at the same time, like I also understand that our players, you know, they are focusing on their LAN at the moment, and I'm sure they're gonna find a lot of success there as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope everyone enjoyed themselves as we did. A shout out to Kura for handling the production. She is currently streaming for us. And Asher, when's gonna be the next stream?
Man, you missed the stream today.
I did. I was asleep, puppy.
Shaking my head.
I was in bed.
I don't know. Not tomorrow. I'm not going to get much sleep.
Are you going to stay up and watch Cheeseadelphia?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to commit to anything. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a shock. It's going to come out of nowhere, grab you by the face, and shake you around.
Can you calm down? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So everyone, watch out for that Asher stream.
There's only one thing that's going to... Hang on. Oh, my God. That sentence really got away from me there. If you have hiccups, this is the stream for you.
There's only one thing that can scare you awake, puppy, and it's gonna be Asher coming at your face. But yes, be sure to check out AsherBro on Twitch. He's gonna be live at some point when you least expect it.
When you have hiccups, I will go live.
When you
have hiccups, I will cure you.
There you go. He'll be there for you, puppy. You can follow me at light_VIP as well over on Twitch. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I should be streaming as long as I'm not dead. We will be we'll be staying up to watch a little bit of Cheeseadelphia, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll be able to play some StarCraft, and Asher will be there to snipe me with his disgusting Protoss. It's gonna be awful.
Oh, with my Protoss, that's a good idea. Maybe.
So yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone had a great time. Our next broadcast is going to be, I believe, in a couple of days. Let me just quickly check the calendar. I know we've had a really intense weekend of StarCraft, and I forgot.
You got PTL right. Are you staying up for that? You're an idiot. You're actually dumb.
We don't have BTL. That is not true.
Just a freaker.
Yes, at 10 a.m. I may be casting the Africa North American Championship Cup qualifiers. That's a solid maybe on that one. But
you have fun with that.
Yes. If Cheeseadelphia ends early enough, then I may let the Ducklings know so they can play in this as well. But it's going to be hard. I think they're going to cross over each other. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But if the Ducklings play, then I will be there to cast.
At 5.
10 a.m.
Oh.
10 a.m.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh boy. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We will see you guys maybe in 8 hours.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.